Hi, my name is Daniel, and thank you for watching this series. It's called The Little Red Couch. It's a Shit Thursday. Why it's Shit Thursday is because it's so happy. It's a Thursday show. I got a little boy here that wants to be part of the show, but he will come on shortly. Not to worry, here today we have our dear friend Jean Lim. She's the occupational therapist at St. Luke's Hospital. So we really wanted to bring her in to understand her experience as a occupational therapist. And of course, this is streaming live because everything else are live, yeah? So this is uncut, uncensored, unedited. So what you see is what you get. You can always ask questions. I'll have my mobile phone with me. So we can start right away. Oh, one thing I forgot is thank you to Danny and the Tiffin Gallery for offering this space up. As usual, every Thursday, we are doing this. So if you like it, hashtag shit because it's so happy it's Thursday show. Yeah? So once again, thank you, Jean, for being here this evening. I know it's a long day at work. Share with us what you do at the St. Luke's Hospital.
Oh, okay. So I work as an occupational therapist.
Yeah. What does that mean? I mean, that's a bombastic word, you know?
Okay, so the most famous quote that occupational therapists use, right, is to say that if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day.
Yeah.
But if you teach him how to fish, you can feed him for his lifetime.
Yeah, that
that's
seems like everything else that we do in life.
Yeah. So occupation in our context, right, is like basically everything that you do. So not just your job, it's like your daily activities, brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
For children, it's like playing, going to school. So all these are all part of occupations.
Yeah.
Yep. So when something happens in your life, whether it's a mental illness or physical illness, you cannot participate in the occupations that you need to do in a particular phase in life.
All right.
Yeah. So that's where we come in to either do rehabilitation or like just explore some coping strategies so that people can reintegrate back into their roles.
Okay.
So that's the broad picture.
What does what do you do on a daily basis? I mean, like let's say today, what happened today?
Okay, so because I work in St. Luke's Hospital, it's a hospital for the elderly, and we are in a community setting, so our patients usually stay with us for maybe about 4 weeks or more. Yeah, so usually they come in for conditions like fractures and strokes and all that lah. Okay, but so for this week, I'm actually covering my colleagues in the dementia ward.
Sure,
so
dementia, a special topic closer to our hearts. Yeah, and
so
that's why you're here.
So I used to be working in the dementia ward. But now I'm doing more of like overseeing the ward and the processes. So I mainly just help to advise my colleagues a little bit about what kind of new initiatives we can do and all that. Yeah, but for this week it's a little bit different because 2 of them are on leave. So I'm covering for them in that sense.
Yeah. So you must be very familiar with the dementia ward. What happens in the dementia ward?
Okay, so on a daily basis there's things like group therapy. So today we actually conducted 2 sessions of group therapy so that we can cover more patients and also make them happy lah.
Okay, what does group therapy constitutes?
Okay, so in group therapy we group the patients together. So either based on their interests or based on the level that they are performing at. So that maybe their stage of dementia or like just how much they can do in a task.
Talking about stage of dementia, I mean just how do we identify the different stages of dementia? If you could share with me.
Definitely there are many types of objective measures. So like you do assessment, doctor asks questions, so you can categorize them into different stages. But usually when we educate caregivers or when we talk to them about different stages of dementia, we just use the early, the moderate and the advanced.
Okay, so what's early?
So early, maybe you see signs like memory loss. So it's usually the first thing that it's a bit obvious to people that something is wrong. Okay, because there's a bit of memory loss. Yeah, and maybe they forget their way home. They forget a little bit of names of people. They don't recognize people who they haven't seen for a long time. So pretty much they can still function at home. So maybe just once in a while they forget to off the stove or they forget their way home. Yeah, but when it goes to a moderate stage, usually their activities of daily living are affected. So they need more help to maybe participate in dressing, showering and all that. And usually by that time they might need a caregiver to be with them. And the advanced stages would be the extreme end where they need help in almost everything. Or sometimes they become more bedbound because they lose their mobility. And sometimes they lose their speech, their swallowing abilities and all that.
for sharing that. And I realized that because you guys came out, St. Luke's Hospital came out to participate at the Enabling Festival, which is happening in October 2018, which just passed. We were very happy to see a lot of your hospital staff that come out. We met, I think maybe in April or May, when we went by the hospital, Danny, myself, we shared some music stuff. But I was surprised that you brought out a pet therapy. I mean, we got the little kitty that could talk. I mean, I brought my live one, but though it's not a cat, but it's a dog. So tell me a little bit about the pet therapy that went on in St. Luke's Hospital.
Okay. So maybe I share about why we bring these things first.
Yes, please.
So we brought down these things because we knew that this festival that you had was a platform where we could share with people what is dementia about and maybe what we do in a community hospital. So like people might think that hospital is just for people who are sick and all that. But
so we debunked that, okay?
Sometimes with dementia, the caregiver might have difficulty managing them at home. Maybe because there's an infection going on or something. So their behavior kind of change. And then maybe we need them to be in the hospital for a while, maybe to adjust medications or just to find out how we can help the family manage better.
Okay.
So there are many things that we do with the patients, and one of them is actually the doll therapy and like pet therapy. So I wouldn't say that we are doing pet therapy because we are not really using the pets, and there's actual pet therapy outside. So I don't want to.
So you use the robotic kitty, right?
So initially when we started bringing the robotic cat, so our friend Sumi she actually asked someone to buy it from overseas. So we couldn't get real pets in at that point in time. So this cat, right, it worked really well because it was in the correct size. It has like real fur. It makes noise. It moves.
So it's quite like Aki, but a cat version.
So when you actually there are dogs also.
Okay, but you didn't bring them in. Okay, I'm
so
sure.
Like, Also, so your question was like, why? How we use the cat? Right?
How do you do it?
So the cats work very well for our Malay patients. So somehow I think there's this general notion that they really like cats. So for all our Malay makciks and neneks, right, they really like the cat. So this cat helps them. It functions the same as the doll therapy, where we want to promote a sense of how to say, like I still have some capabilities to care for somebody else.
Yes, and that's precisely. I'm talking my dad's situation. When I brought back Aki, Daddy became the caregiver for Aki. He learned how to feed Aki, he learned how to clean the pee-pee and the poo-poo and all that kind of stuff, and even mop the floor for Aki. So that I think that symbolism of caring for someone, caring for another being, kinds of get played up. So you're saying that it's most relevant for our Malay caregivers. I think that's a good point to note as well to our viewers out there. I mean, we're naturally drawn to pets as a whole. And I think that's a beautiful part about it. But any challenges with using the little robotic kitties?
Challenges, I think it's more the operational part. So like, because in a hospital we need to keep our things clean. So like, how do we keep that cat clean? You know, if you wipe it too many times, the fur keeps falling off. But it's so expensive to replace. So these kind of problems like.
So the logistics bits as compared to like actual using it.
So otherwise, usually we'll identify, we'll trial. So if the patient doesn't respond to the cat, then of course we won't give it to the patient. But if the patient actually likes the cat, right? We will let them either have it during the therapy session to do some activities like brush the hair or like just play with it. Or otherwise, some of them they actually would want the cat by their bedside. So like they might have the cat for the whole night.
Okay. So I picked out the word like.
Yes.
So beyond that lens of dementia, I'm quite certain there's still that personality, there's still that identity, there's still the character behind it. So if I like pets, for example, I mean, I will still be naturally drawn to it. If I don't really like it, I mean, regardless whether it's a cat or a dog, I may not even favor or coming close to it, like exactly what you pointed out. I mean, that's very important insights for us as caregivers, because sometimes we administer therapies thinking that it's the best for them, but we fail to realize that actually we should have asked daddy or mommy how we want to give care for them before we administer it to them, right? So good point to note as well. I mean, if you're watching this,
I think it's okay to try new things. But
try.
So maybe if they reject it once, twice, by the third time I think we know that we need to
they don't like it. Right? So it's a lot of about understanding the person you're caregiving for. I think in general that's the question that we wanna tell as well, and we want to clarify. Oh, we've got a new cameraman. Aki, I know you're just behind the camera. You come in front of the camera. Let's show everybody else. You are my pet therapy.
Yeah.
So say hello to everybody else. Yeah? Okay, go. Yeah. And I mean, what are the challenges on a day-to-day for your role? What makes you happy? What brings a tear to your eye?
Okay.
Yeah, we want to touch the heartstrings. We want to let people know there's no job. It's perfect. What are the struggles that you face?
Okay, so struggles definitely with time.
Yeah.
Because with dementia patients, you don't want to rush. Okay, we want to give as much time as we can. We want to listen to them. If they want to go to the toilet like maybe 10, 20 times, we would love to bring them to the toilet.
Yeah.
Like to fulfill their needs. So time is definitely something that we all wish could be more.
We all have 24 hours a day,
So
right?
it's not
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think they really deserve our full attention when we are attending to them.
Yeah.
So that's a struggle that I face. Things that make me
Bring a smile.
Oh, smile. Okay.
Smile first, right? Yeah.
Smile definitely
Happy
when
stuff.
there's breakthroughs.
Yeah.
So maybe a patient who also like maybe today, we have a patient who has maybe moderate dementia, but also had a few strokes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't really interact much with you. He's very hard to engage. Always very sleepy.
Yeah.
But today morning somehow he was quite awake, even though he didn't sleep
Active.
last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, active. So we took the chance to bring him out, and we actually asked him whether he wanted to join our group therapy session.
Wow.
So he couldn't really express, but he didn't say no.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Silence is consent,
Yeah.
right?
So
I'm
we-
hoping, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If not every situation is like that, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very encouraging to see that even though he couldn't participate because he had upper like hand weakness from the stroke lah. He tried to move his hands, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
But I could see that he tried to do the craft that we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite encouraging to see that lah. And after we completed it, he actually was willing to smile and like take a picture with it.
Yeah. So sometimes I think it's the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the intention is really, if it's from the heart, it is true, I think it's genuine. I think that's good enough for us.
Yeah.
So as much as we can, our time is limited, 24 hours a day.
Mm.
Our time is limited as well.
Yeah.
So we're actually ending this short little series here as well. We will be away for the next 3 weeks. We're preparing for Christmas too, right? We're humans too, yeah? So we're going to be on our little holidays, but we will return on the 20th of December, and hopefully we can bring along new stories, new insights for all our viewers out there. Final word, tell us a little bit more about, because Danny's mom visits Dr. Linus. Shout out to Dr. Linus as well if you're watching, at St. Luke's Hospital actually. So tell us what kind of services that St. Luke's Hospital has. I mean the final note
Okay,
to our
so
viewers. Yeah.
we for our inpatient patients who are with us, definitely we have a specialized ward for them. So we do rehab with them in a different way to cater to their needs lah, which are different from the usual rehab patients that we receive.
Yeah.
On top of that, we try to support caregivers in their homes. So we do home visits when necessary. We have this thing called the dementia care program. Yeah, so where we follow them through inpatient all the way to their home, and sometimes when they come back as outpatients.
Yeah.
We also have this home intervention program
Yeah.
where our social worker and care coordinator will visit patients who are in the community. So they are not sick, they are not, they don't need to be in a hospital, but maybe they're at home and the caregiver is highly stressed. So this program is, in particular, it tries to support the caregiver.
Yeah.
So they go there, meet the caregiver, talk to them, try to engage the person with dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's quite an extensive range of services
Yes.
that St. Luke's Hospital actually provides. All right, thank you very much. I think our time is up.
Okay.
Thank you to Jean Lim, occupational therapist from St. Luke's Hospital. Me, Daniel, from Enable Asia, signing off. We hope to see you on the 20th of December. It's going to be a shit show again. Thank you very much.